Hey, thanks for stopping by today. What we're going to talk about is some maintenance items. Not maintenance on your laser, but maintenance on your controller. I don't see this discussed a lot, but it's one of those things that will catch you off guard if you're not careful. So let's talk a little bit about what you should be doing on a continual basis to make sure you don't get any surprises when it comes to your controller maintenance. I see on the forums all the time where people will be using their laser for a little bit and all of a sudden they're getting some very strange things. Maybe that only portions of their design are going to the controller and being lasered out. Or maybe they send a job to the controller and it won't take it at all. One of the things that you've got to realize, again, that I don't see publicized very much, is your controller only has a certain amount of memory and a certain number of files that it will take. And when it gets close to that maximum, very strange things start to happen. I've seen all kinds of things. This particular controller that you're seeing here, I believe it has 125 megabytes worth of capacity and or 99 files. So again, it depends on how big your files are and how big your laser is, depending on how many files you can actually fit on your controller before you start to have problems. So let's talk a little bit about that. What will happen is you keep just sending different files to your controller, and at some point in time, your controller is going to either be full of memory or the total file count is going to exceed what that controller is set up for. And really the only way to combat that is to learn how to systematically get rid of your files either on your controller or, in my preference, is LightBurn. It's a lot easier to control what's on your controller in LightBurn than it is on the actual controller, at least in my opinion. I'm going to show you today how you can get into LightBurn and how you can go ahead and either selectively delete your files or just get rid of all of them at one fell swoop. It's very easy to do once you know where it lives, and there's a tab that you might have to turn on. I'll show you where that lives in case you don't see it. And so what I've done is I've just adopted a practice that every Monday morning when I come in, when I start my work, that's one of the first things that I do. I just go in and I blow out all the files that's in my controller, and I know I start that week where I've got a clean slate and I don't have to worry about that controller memory getting full. But that's something that you should definitely incorporate as part of your maintenance when you're cleaning your machine, those kind of things. We got to make sure that we take care of your controller as much as we do your laser. So let's go to LightBurn. I'll show you where that lives, how to do it, and how easy it is. Let's go check it out. We've gotten over into LightBurn, and the first thing that I've got to make sure that I have is I've got a laser ready. You have to be connected to your laser in order for this to work. So I can see that I'm connected with my laser here, and the first thing I'm going to look for is a file list tab. And you notice that I don't have a file list tab in any of my tabs here. And that's because it's turned off. And more than likely yours is turned off as well. It doesn't come on as a default. You're going to have to turn it on. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go ahead and go up to the Window drop-down list. Click on that. And come down and find the File List selection. You can see right here I don't have the selection check marked. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select that file list, and you'll notice now it'll be selected, and you should also now find a file list tab either in your top or your bottom pane. And so you'll want to click on that. Now, if this is the very first time that you've done this, more than likely this screen will be completely blank. And so what you're always going to want to do when you first get into this file list tab is to go ahead and refresh, and it'll go out, it'll grab those files, and now you've got a complete accurate listing of all the files that you currently have in your controller. And you can see right now for my 35100, I have got 46 files in my controller. Well, I can tell you right now, if I wouldn't do this at the first of the week and I would continue on for the rest of the week, I'd run out of space, meaning that I would exceed my 99 file maximum list for my controller, and it would either start giving me some goofy results or it just wouldn't take any further files. And so this is why it's important for you to know about this, because a lot of times what I'm seeing in the forums is people are getting some very strange things, and come to find out they didn't know that they had to maintain, or they had to go in and delete files out of their controller because they were going to run out of space. Not something that a lot of people talk about. So I thought I'd go ahead and make a quick video about it, because it can generate a lot of problems for you, and you don't even know what the solution is, because controller memory is kind of the farthest thing that you're thinking about. You're thinking that a file might be messed up, or that you messed up some layers in your design, something like that, where the only thing it is that your controller memory is full and you've got to take care of it. So in this particular case now, I know that I've got 46 files. If I would just, let's say that I wanted to keep a handful of files on my controller because I use them all the time, you can do that. But if you don't want to delete them all at once, which is right down here, you will have to selectively select one and then delete it. Select one and delete it. And that can be kind of laborious. I haven't found a way where you can systematically select like 6, like hold down the shift key and select a range of files. That doesn't seem to work. So if anybody knows how to do that, I would love to hear that if it's possible. If not, what I typically do is I just delete them all every Monday morning. I'm fresh, I'm ready to go. The controller's memory is wiped out. You're good to go. So you can also upload files in the same manner. If you've already got files that are in a state that can be uploaded and they're ready to go, you can do that as well. You can also calculate your run times here. This is a pretty handy little deal. It also tells you what the run times for each file is here. And so you can see most of my files are, you know, pretty short-lived. So anyway, that's how you go ahead. And so I'm going to go ahead and clear my memory now. I'm going to go ahead and get this. I'm going to say delete all files. It's going to say, are you sure you want to do that? And I'm going to say yes. And now if I come back and I hit refresh, you notice that there's nothing left in my controller's memory. Now, that didn't delete any files off of, that didn't delete any files on your computer. The only files that deleted was what was stored on your controller. So just keep that in mind. I hope this information was helpful. If you'd please like and subscribe, give me some comments, I'd sure appreciate it. If you have the ability, if you could hit that thanks button and contribute to the channel, I'd sure appreciate it. Until next time, thanks and have a great day.